Good morning, students. So, once again, I welcome you all in the Alchemy Online tutorials. How are you all? I hope that everybody is taking a great care of themselves, right? Sitting at home. Okay, students. So, I told you that once again I will be back with you all, and very soon we're going to start with our next chapter of business studies, that is chapter number 2, that is Principles of Management. See, students, already we have completed our first chapter, that is chapter number 1, that is Nature and Significance of Management. Right? So today we're going to start with this new chapter, and totally a new chapter, which is quite very different from the previous topic. Okay, because in the previous topic we have understood about what do you mean by management, right? And this word principle has came lot many times in the previous chapter, and then I have told you that in the next chapter I will going to explain you in detail what do you mean by this particular chapter, what all are the principles which were being created by many of the management theorists. Okay, so all those things we're going to discuss in this particular video. Okay, in this video also and in the upcoming videos. So today in this whole chapter we're going to discuss about these many things. See, we're going to discuss about the introduction, right? Then we're going to discuss about the concept, then the nature, what is the nature, or we can call it as a feature or the characteristics of the principles of management. Then we're going to discuss about the importance, or we can call it as the significance. Then we're going to discuss about the two theorists. Okay, they were the very famous theorists. One was the Frederick Taylor, F.W. Taylor. I'm not going in deep right now. We're going to very soon in our upcoming videos, we're going to go in deep. He had clarified his and he had presented his scientific principles. Okay, and one was the Fayol, Henry Fayol. Okay, he has presented his 14 principles of management. Okay, and then at the end we're going to have a comparison between both, between the Fayol and between the Taylor. Okay, students, I hope that you all have gone through with this. Okay, chaliye, let's not waste our time and let's move further with our first topic of this particular chapter, that is introduction. See, basically, if I tell you that what do you mean by principles of management? So principles of management are a kind of the guidelines. Okay, they are what they are. They are the kind of the guidelines following which, or by following which, the managers or the theorist, okay, they are the employees or the organization will going to work smoothly, will going to function smoothly in the business organization. Okay, so basically in order to have a smooth functioning, in order to have a convenient functioning without any hurdles, without any discrepancies, okay, to avoid all those things, what happened, two theorists have come forward. One was the Frederick Taylor and another one was the Henry Fayol. Okay, and both these particular persons, in their own way, they have created certain principles of management. Okay, they were being called as in guidelines or the instructions, by following which we can properly, effectively, efficiently, smoothly, conveniently, we can cover up all the activities which are being followed in the business organization. Okay, this is what is there, the introduction of this particular topic. Clear? Next point is concept. Concept, what is exactly, what do you mean by principles? Like, see, I will just going to read the definition that what I have written on the slide. Please go through the definition. What it is written, it is the broad and a general guideline for decision making and the behavior of the managers. See, very soon the topics of this particular chapter will going to unfold in front of you. What happens is there are the principles that were being created by these two main theorists. Those principles were being created looking after the behavior of the managers or the employees who are working in that particular organization. Okay, and the main logic, the main motive of creating those principles of management was it act as a general guideline. See, it is written on the slide. It act as a general guideline to make or for making any decisions. Okay, to create any decisions, to implement any decisions, to take any decisions, we need to follow certain guidelines. Okay, so those guidelines are nothing but they are the principles of the management. Okay, likewise we have discussed that certain principles are there of the scientific principles. Okay, following which we come to a certain conclusion and we are following and we are interrupting our activities. Clear? Same way, there are certain principles which are been created for the management, for the betterment of the management, like division of labor, okay, then centralization, decentralization, scalar chain, stability of tenure, then proper amount of salary, okay, aspirate the corps, then unity of command, unity of direction, then many such, okay, many such principles are there, following which, and the main logic of making those principles is that we can take the decisions we can take the decisions up to the mark, okay, and very easily, very conveniently, and we can make the activities in a proper manner. We can flow the activities in a proper manner. Understood? Now what happens is these principles that were being created, these principles are somewhat different from these 2 points which are written downside. See, technique. Technique kya hota hai? Technique, it is a kind of a procedure. It is a kind of a procedure or a method in which we are following a step-by-step process. Okay, in order to achieve a particular target or a particular goal, we need to follow certain process, like what we have understood, like what we have read in the first chapter, process of management. Okay, like if planning comes first, then it will going to be planning only. You cannot start it with directly. Getting my point? So what happens is principles are not the techniques. Principles are not as such ki you need to follow in a sequence manner or in a systematic manner or in a procedural method. Techniques are the procedures. They are the methods which need to be followed step by step. But principles need not to be followed step by step. Okay? They are to be followed as per the requirement of the organization. Whatever the organization is and whatever in that particular organization, whatever principles are required, you will going to follow those principles. Getting my point? Next one is values. Now you know the word moral values. Okay, every individual, every business organization, they have certain values towards the society. Am I right? They have certain values towards the society. Okay, so those values also, they are very different from the principles. Why? Because values we are creating on the basis of the behavior of the particular individual. Okay, and they are being created by following a certain practices. Okay, by following certain practices, by doing certain practices or by doing certain experiments, then we have come to the point, okay, in this particular society, this way the work should be implemented. Okay, or if we do this work, then it will be not ethical, it will be unethical, it will not be good for the society. So what are those? These are the moral values. So these are also quite very different from the principles. Okay, students, in short, just keep in your mind, don't get confused. Whenever word principles of management comes in your mind, straight away the very first word will going to arise in your mind is guidelines. Getting my point? Guidelines which are being followed for the decision making and behavior of the managers. Okay, clear students? So this is the short concept of the particular chapter. Clear? Now let's move on with our next topic. Today we're going to do this much. Today we're going to already we have covered up with the introduction, then we have covered up with the concept, and now we are getting towards the nature, feature or characteristics of the principles of management. Clear students? Chaliye, let's begin with our very first point of the principles of management. Nature of principles of management is universal applicability. Okay, see, universal applicability. See, this point you have heard many a times when we were discussing about the features of management. Also in that particular topic also we have discussed universal applicability means which is present everywhere. Okay, like supposedly principles are same. The 14 principles that what Henry Fayol has created, or the principles that what F.W. Taylor has created in the organization which is situated in India, those same principles will going to be followed in the organization which is situated in the foreign country. It means that it is applicable everywhere. It's not like that the principles here are different and the principles there are different. It's not like that. They are being followed, they are being applicable in a equalized manner. And in every organization, in all type of organization, whether it is a small scale or a large scale, the applicability of the principles of management is must. Then only we can think of achieving our target properly. Got my point? Second is general guidelines. General guidelines means, see, basically whatever principles we are making, okay, those principles are applicable according to the nature and size of the business organization. Okay, it is not important that suppose there are two organizations, organization A and organization B. Okay, in organization A, the work is not divided properly. Okay, haphazard in a haphazard manner, anybody is doing any task. There is no any specific allocation of work to a particular individual. And same in organization B, the work is divided as per the knowledge and skill of a particular employee. Getting my point? So now the principle of division of work will going to be applied in which organization? Organization A or organization B? The answer will be organization A. Got my point? Why? Because in organization A, the work was not at all divided as per the knowledge and skill of a particular employee. Whereas in organization B, the work was well organized and well and divided according to the knowledge and skill of a particular employee. So what does it mean? Wherever any principle is required, so as per the nature and size of the business organization, you will going to apply the principle. That is, you will going to apply the general guidelines. Clear, students? Got my point? Okay. Next is formed by practice and experiments. Of course, this point, I guess, when we were discussing about the nature of management, you remember? In that point, I have told you that as in science, we are doing continuous experiments, and after doing experiments only we are coming to a conclusion. Okay, and then we are coming to a conclusion. Okay, this principle is the best principle. This principle we can implement. Same way in the management also, it require continuous observation. So as per the organization, whatever principle is required, first we will going to do the experiment. We will going to practice them, and if they are if they are excelled, if they are being successful in the experimentations, then we will going to implement them. Got my point? So in management also, before implementing any principle, it requires to be experimented, and if in the experiment we are satisfied, then only we are going to move further. Understood? Okay. Next point is flexible. Flexible, as the name itself signifies, changes as per the requirement of the company. It is not at all rigid. It's not like that ki, okay, if one principle has been involved, then only that principle only will going to be followed out for the whole year. It's not like that. As per the requirement of the company, the principles will going to be changed. Okay? It will not going to be constant. It will continuously be changed as per the requirement of the company. Okay, students? Okay. Chaliye. Next point is behavioral. Behavioral means, now see, teamwork. For example, if I take the example of teamwork. Teamwork, how the teamwork will going to come in the organization? When there will be a proper relation among the employees. When there will be a mutual relation among the employees. When one person will going to share, will going to respect the other person. Okay? If the manager has passed on any order, then the employees are ready to follow that particular order. Got my point? Like for example, there is one principle. That is principle of unity of command. Okay, just in short, I am telling you what it is. Principle of unity of command means when we are getting the order from a one single person, from a one single boss. Okay, what happens is that if we are getting the orders from a one single person, okay, then we can easily follow the orders. But if we are getting the orders from more than one person, then what happen? We will going to get confused, or we will going to start saying that we were busy in following the orders of somebody else. That's why we have not completed your task. So what happened is that there was not a proper relation among the employees. Okay, so behavioral, the principles that what you are creating, that should be behavioral. That should uplift, or that should be beneficial to a particular personnel in spite of to a particular organization. Like proper amount of salary. If we are not getting proper amount of salary, then automatically there will be no proper contribution from the employees. Getting my point? Getting my point? So this is known as behavioral. Next one is cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship. Now see, I guess you all know that many a times when if it is a saying, like if I give you one example, if we provide incentives to the employees, okay, if we give them proper amount of salaries, if we make proper promotions, timely promotions, okay, then what happens is, in return, what you will going to get? You will going to get good productivity. You will going to get good productivity. Okay, so here cause is giving good amount of incentives, and if we are getting good amount of incentives, then in return what we are getting 100% contribution from a particular employee, and that's what we want. If we need to excel, if we need to run the organization for a very long period of time, then what we want? We want the proper contribution from the employees, and that can only be possible if we serve something to the to that particular employee. Okay, students? And the last one is contingent. Contingent means depending upon the situation. Depending upon the situation. Directly it's related with the situation. Jahan pe, wherever it is possible, your principle will going to be applied that way only. In organization A, if principle of unity of command need to be followed, then depending upon that situation, you will going to follow that principle. If in organization B, division of work is required, then you will going to follow that principle. It is not important that you need to follow each and every principle. It is not at all important. Your principles will going to be dependent upon the nature and the size of the business organization. Understood? Clear with this topic? So I guess that I have made you clear with this particular topic, that is nature and features or characteristics of the principles of management. Okay, so this was the today we have started with our chapter number 2. Please go through the chapter properly. As I have mentioned on my slide also, please download your textbooks from this diksha.app. Okay, your NCERT books. Okay, if you are not able to download the whole chapters, please download it chapter wise. As and when I start any new chapter, then please beforehand download the next chapter. Like we have already completed with chapter number 1. So please now, as soon as you start watching these videos, so please before that you start downloading chapter number 2. Okay, for more practice you can go on this Extra Mark app. Okay, chaliye. So we're going to meet very soon, and in our next video, as today we have already covered up with our 3 topics, that is introduction, concept and nature. Next video we're going to cover importance, and if it is possible then we're going to go towards the Taylor's scientific principles. Okay students, chaliye. Okay, so take care of yourself. Please do study on a regular basis and stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.